Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today we have a perfect recipe to go with that morning cup of coffee. Today we are going to learn to make keto coffee cake donuts. And if you want a printable version of this, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those Amazon affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and will help to support the channel. So, anytime you want to purchase anything on Amazon, make sure you remember me, use my affiliate link, and a small portion of your purchase will help to support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Lightly grease 7 donut molds, or if you don't have any donut molds, you can look on my website on how to make molds out of foil. You would just use the ones made for hamburger buns, and then when you go to bake them, you would just make a hole in the middle of the dough so you have a hole in the middle of your donut. In a small bowl, place 2 tablespoons of softened butter. Make sure it is softened. You don't want it melted, but you want it softened. Add 2½ tablespoons of coconut flour, 2½ tablespoons of the sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use any sweetener you want. And a ½ teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You can use more or less of the cinnamon depending on how much of a cinnamon taste you want in your topping. Use a fork or your fingers and mash all the ingredients together until all the butter has been combined with the dry ingredients and the mixture is crumbly. Set that aside for just a minute. In a large mixing bowl, combine a ½ cup of coconut flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup golden monk fruit sweetener or brown sugar sweetener of your choice. If you prefer, you can use the granulated monk fruit sweetener rather than the golden monk fruit sweetener. I like that brown sugar taste in my donuts, but if you prefer just a neutral flavor, you can use the granulated monk fruit sweetener or a granulated sweetener of your choice. Add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, more or less depending on how much of a cinnamon flavor you want in your donuts. Whisk or sift these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so that they mix in more smooth. Whisk the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients have been moistened. Add a ½ cup of room temperature butter that's been slightly softened. Make sure it's just softened, not melted. Stir the butter in until everything is fully combined and you have a smooth mixture. Add 3 tablespoons of room temperature milk of your choice. Make sure it is room temperature so you have a softer batter, which creates a fluffier donut. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whisk everything together until it's fully combined and smooth. Scrape down the sides and push the dough to the center of the bowl. Then evenly distribute the batter amongst the prepared donut cavities. It's about 4 tablespoons for each donut cavity. Use a knife or your fingers and make sure the top of the donut dough is smooth. You don't want any lumps in your donut, so make sure it's nice and smooth. Then take your bowl with the crumb topping and use your fingers and just crumble it up again just to make sure that it is in small pieces and not in large lumps. Then divide the crumb topping evenly over the top of the donuts. As you're dividing it, lightly press the crumb topping into the top of the donuts. You don't want to press it all the way down, just very lightly, just so that it sticks well to the top of the donuts. Then place the donuts in your preheated oven and bake at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes or until the donuts are brown on top and a tester comes out clean. For me, 25 minutes was perfect. Once they're baked, remove them from the oven. They still will be soft, but they will firm up as they cool. Allow them to cool in the pan in the molds for about 30 minutes or until they're firm enough to remove from the molds without falling apart. After they've cooled and firmed up, remove the donuts from the molds and place them on a wire rack. Place a piece of parchment paper underneath the rack because when you put the glaze on. The glaze will drip off and you don't want it to drip all over your countertops. Set the donuts aside for just a minute. In a small bowl, combine 1 cup of powdered monk fruit allulose blend or powdered sweetener of your choice, a half cup of the milk of your choice, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now you can add more or less of the powdered sweetener depending on how thick you want your glaze to be. If you like a more thick glaze, you can add a little bit more of the powdered sweetener. If you like more of a thin glaze, then less. It depends on how thick you want that glaze to be. For me, the 1 cup is perfect for the texture that I like. Once the glaze is all smooth, use a spoon and drizzle the glaze evenly over the warm donuts. You can put however much you want. If you just like a very light glaze, then very lightly glaze it. If you like a heavier glaze, put more. It's up to you. Once you have your desired amount of glaze over your donuts, then allow it to sit for about 5 minutes just so that the glaze can set into the donuts well. Once they've set for 5 minutes, place them on the serving platter of your choice. You can eat them immediately, or you can place them in an airtight container and store them at room temperature for up to 5 days. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button. You can leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.